Years ago, you heard of ISIS. Don't you know that the ISIS movement is a forerunner movement for the coming of the Mahdi? They are the only radical movement who don't want to change government for government's sake. They are the only radical movement that are being moved by doctrine to change the government of this world. And their aim is not the government of Iraq or America. Their aim is to change the world government and establish a world government when they started. And that is why suddenly for the first time, it's the first jihad since the early days jihad in the early centuries that has gathered the whole world. The army was made up of people from almost every country in every continent to join that Mahdi army that was led by Baghdadi. There's a prophecy in the Hadith in the Quran about the Mahdi. And in their prophecy, the last battle of Armageddon that we call Armageddon is supposed to take place in a place called Dabiq. It's present-day Syria. Now, that war was not without sense. And listen, the theology around that war was to establish a one-world government that will be led by the Mahdi, the Messiah, Isa, the one we call Jesus. Why we say that Armageddon will take place in Israel, they claim it will take place in Syria. You are wondering why I'm telling you this story. How is it relevant to us there? It's because you will notice that as they began to conquer Iraq, they were not conquering going to America. They were conquering Iraq going towards Syria. Today, a branch of ISIS sits over the throne in Syria. So the first aim to control where the Mahdi will land, to take over the control where the Mahdi will land and pave the way for the Mahdi has been fulfilled. Right now, an ISIS government rules over Syria. You will remember at that time, at their peak, they made a video and sang a song. Some of you didn't know. They said, "See you in Dabiq." That means their only goal, the first goal, was to take over Syria and then build a standing point for the Mahdi to land and take over the war. The second aim of the war was Rome, bring down the Roman Catholic Church, because they believe the umbilical cord of the church is in Rome. The Pope is actually the head. Islam believes that, the head of Christianity. Now, for those of you who are not connecting 2 plus 2, meaning that their focus was to bring down Europe, not just Rome. Anything that is connected, that gave all that Rome gave birth to in this present time, that represents Christianity, was to be brought down. And unfortunately, if you remember when you talk about eschatology, the 4 kings, the present European Union came out from the 4th king. Listen, now that they have gotten the beachhead, what is called a beachhead, they will now begin to prepare. Recently, I read that they are trying to make peace with Israel. It's a ploy to make Israel look the other way and hold back Israel. Started sending emissaries to make peace. But meanwhile, they have made an agreement with Turkey, a military agreement with Turkey, to defend Syria. Meaning that Iran was a distraction for Syria to rise.